Jeanette
Who's it?
Bocanegra.
Huh?
Jeanette Bocanegra.
What she said?
He's like, you got this crazy old the alphabet in the letter, all the letters in the alphabet in your name.
What's going on, people? Right now, you are watching Unsigned Heat Podcast. And right now, we got a special VIP guest, and the lady right here has a lot going on. I'm gonna let her tell her who you are, and let's get it going.
Who I am? I didn't think I was the VIP person. I'm like, who's here?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
VIP.
Jeanette Bocanegra. I'm gonna say I'm a daughter. I'm a mother. I am a community leader, a national thoughtful leader, but I'm also a lived experience parent touched by systems.
Okay.
And what I do is support young people, support families, provide other leaders with the tools and the support that they need to build their community and the capacity in their community to help young people
Yeah.
and families thrive.
Okay. So I'm trying to figure out. You got a lot going on, like being in a community. Like, how can you build a community up?
Sometimes we don't think about the community. Well, first of all, I'm gonna kind of give you the official introduction. My name is Jeanette Bocanegra, and I am the executive director of Justice for Families, a national organization that works to transform the juvenile justice system so that it is driven by the interests of young people and their families, and to move away those resources
Yeah.
that have been going into these institutions, these policies tough on crime, and invest those dollars into communities that have been mostly impacted by these harsh policies through the child welfare system,
Yeah.
the juvenile justice system, the school to prison pipeline. Right? I could talk about all the systems, but I started working with families in the school system. I kind of transitioned with my youngest introducing me to the juvenile justice, and I couldn't wrap my head around it. So I worked with professional leaders, commissioners, probation officers, child welfare leaders, in helping them think about how do I engage families so that my system can do a better job. And I spent many years training and facilitating and speaking to folks about how do you improve your outcomes, not just you making those decisions, but by partnering authentically
Yeah.
with young people and families. And that was always right the topic. How do you engage young people and families? Until COVID hit, my shift in thinking
Yeah.
kind of went back to community. We train folks in systems, um, but what it really took is getting grounded in community and trusting the same community members that we always look at as the problem.
Okay. So, how you think right now the community that you're working in right now, how are the people feeding?
Oh, this community, for me, the work means so much more now because in 2020, COVID hit and it hit everyone. It demonstrated the disparities across every system. And folks were being very empathetic, compassionate, and saying we need to pour resources into community. At that same time, I took the lead of a national organization which was located in Louisiana. I'm from the Bronx, I'm from New York. I can't work in Louisiana. I couldn't work virtually. That was not realistic here in Honeywell.
Yeah.
You know where I live.
Yeah.
I've been in this community all my life. I'm born and raised in the Bronx. And when COVID hit, I couldn't work from home. I got this space. I was able to rent this space, which the doctors that were here for over 20 years, they left. And I was by myself. I brought a national organization here where I'm at. and I trusted my community to help me.
Yeah, how did I send out?
How is that now?
From that point
From that point
into now.
to now, I'm blessed because I have Miss Sharman. I don't know if you remember Miss Sharman, a retired teacher, which I say she didn't retire. She pours in her love and her skills and her passion to the work and to the young people in the community. She sees different, right? Ms. Deborah, another community elder who retired but also comes here and supports the work. She believes in helping young people and helping the elders.
Yeah.
This is intergenerational, right? A system doesn't just impact one person. A system impacts a whole family. A system impacts a whole community. And I hired a community peer navigator who also lives in the community, just a couple of hours a week. I have now two community peer navigators part time. I was fortunate to be able to hire a very skilled person who worked with state and city government. She's my deputy director, so she can support me with my national work, and she also supports me here with my local work, which means again so much more because we're able to demonstrate to others what authentic relationship looks like, what community capacity looks like. I don't have to bring folks from outside, right? Every person that comes here, whether they from another state, because this has become a learning hub where people come from Seattle, Washington, Indianapolis, Texas, Washington, D.C. To visit. They come here to see how we build the capacity of this organization in this community. And if I'm demonstrating to others, if you partner with young people and families, these are the outcomes.
Yeah.
And folks want to see that. If you look around as well, right, all the pictures that are here are authentic pictures of the things we've done here in community, right? We help young people, right? We know that the schools have been failing them. We know that there is a school to prison pipeline. I'm part of a committee here in New York State with many large or small and large organizations to discuss putting a policy about solutions, not suspension, from suspension to detention to incarceration, right? So how do we look at those policies that have been pushing our kids, who our kids are gifted, they talented, and they beautiful, but right, they go into a school and things change, right? We want to make sure that at home we can nourish them, in the community be the extension, but also know that if we're investing in schools in the community, the outcomes should be better. I'm also part of another committee right here in New York, the Child and Family Wellbeing Fund, how to build legislative language to fund communities like this one. This is not the only one. This is not the only zip code that incarcerate and take children away from families. We have certain zip codes in New York that target communities, right? Black and brown communities. Now we have another group of folks that come from all over, right? Immigration. How do we support individuals, right? Not to continue with this cycle of horrible policies and practices and communities that don't thrive.
Okay. I was wondering, far as the youth, like how many youth come here to the center to?
We have a cycle of how we do our work because of funding, right? We need funding. Love does not pay the bills. Love doesn't fund programs, right? I wish we do the work because of love, because it's our community, our kids, but we need funding, right? And putting money in young people's pocket. Also, different activities that we do, know your rights when being stopped by the cops. So this month is Youth Action Awareness, right? How do we tap into young people? So we have a cycle of groups that come in, whether it's through events, through summer youth employment. I know that the first year we did this interview, the podcast, I think I had like 4 young people or 3. I hosted 15 young people this year. Those same young people were the ones who did our whole summer activity. ending until it didn't even end because we said come back. We could honor a couple of hours a week,
Yeah.
and we can continue supporting tutoring young people. We have a lot of kids that don't know how to read and write, and the schools are pushing them. So they didn't finish, though some of you finished.
Yeah.
We try to fundraise and do flea markets to be able to bring them back. Those who are still here in New York, because we have a nice about five of them that went away to school, college. So that's also a success. So we just it depends, right? Um, what we're doing and what we have to keep them engaged. They know that this is a safe space. They know that this is a welcoming space, but we also need funding to, right, to retain them.
Okay. So how's the funding going right now? What are you
What are my
looking
fundings?
for?
Okay,
What are you looking for?
we're looking.
What is your goal?
My goal is to get a better home for the organization where we can bring other talented, gifted individuals to facilitate. Right, my last group of young people that I'm working with right now are between the ages of 13 and 7. And they're every Sunday they go to the garden with me. But the weather's changing, so we're working on drumming. I realized that they like drumming. And the plan was introduce them to drumming so they can be the ones to do an ancestral ceremony
Yeah.
that was supposed to happen today, but due to the weather, we had to reschedule November 11th. And the first day that they played, these are the kids that no one really wants to work with. Literally, they get pushed out of school. Even adults that don't have the patience. I put myself on timeout with them. I'm like, on timeout. But I like being consistent with Sundays with them. And I knew that the garden, right, was seasonal. And when the first day that I took them to do the drumming, it was like, wow, I want to cry.
Hmm.
I said, wow, Dr. Drum has their attention. These are young people that are constantly being targeted, and I wrapped myself around them and I try to bring the community to understand that if we don't do it, they're already targeted for a system.
Yeah. They set right now. They setting up everything up for them right now. For like all they know they not doing good in class.
School, right?
So the next thing is either streets or prison. So
And I didn't even want
lined
to
up.
say that because
They got it lined up for 'em.
when you ask a young person where they see themselves, is either dead or locked up, and that shouldn't be
Yeah.
what they think, right? They gifted, they talented, they beautiful, and they can aspire to be whoever they want to be.
Yeah.
Even if they want to flip burgers, be the best flipper burger ever. You could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be the president, you could be whoever you want.
I mean, as they sit back, they want to flip burgers.
They can buy a
they could,
entrepreneurship.
learn the whole system
That's
and then get people to flip their own burgers for 'em.
and help build, right? We don't do that. We don't help with financial literacy. We do help here with financial literacy.
What about credit and things like that?
We do. We've partnered with Popular Bank to help with financial literacy. They give us a little grant, which right helps us educate and put money in young people's pocket and help them think about opening up a bank account, put savings, help with credit. We don't know, right? Some people don't know I have bad credit. I'm not saying me, right? But people don't know how to establish credit. They know how to get credit, but don't know how to keep the credit. So helping, right, clean your credit, build your credit. Even folks who are interested in buying a home.
Yeah. So they should be learning, try to learn personal credit and business credit. Because I have both. So I got personal and business.
So those are the things, right, that we need experts like yourself, right? Because you have the expertise on how to build your personal credit
Yeah.
and a business credit.
Yeah. So, in order to get, they say, in order to get business credit, your personal credit has to be good. So it's like your personal credit is co-signing for your business. So I did that, and then pretty good. So,
Well, I'm glad
so
that I've established good credit and not put myself in financial debts
yeah,
because of credit cards,
yeah,
right? And for young people and even folks, you get offered a credit card and but don't know how to maintain it. So financial literacy is very important.
yeah,
I was asking the young people yesterday, how much, just to see if they can save money to take a vacation.
yeah,
And I asked them, how much money do you spend a week? And kind of had to break it down and say, okay, a day, how much money you spend a day? And you don't even have a job. But I asked them that because they're constantly spending money buying chips, um, just buying stuff at the deli, right? And a bag of chips is 50 cents. They can buy 2 and 3 and 4 bags of chips a day. They buy juice, that's too much sugar. I'm also
yeah,
trying to help them think about nutrition.
yeah,
So we also do cooking classes here. We're also about to release our cooking activity book with recipes for families and young people.
yeah,
It took us some time. I don't know if I mentioned it to you before.